What's up, traders? Why is nobody talking about Palantir? Well, they may be today, March the 29th, 2022, because Palantir is up over 6%. But there's been a lot of big up days in Palantir over the last few weeks. Now, granted, the market has been going up, but there have been some very interesting developments in Palantir going back the last few days and weeks that I don't think people are really noticing. Now, Palantir was a darling during the SPAC, the Special Purpose Acquisition Company craze of 2021. It got all the way up to a high of 45, just about, and then it fell off. Now, I know a lot of people that really believed in this company, its AI technology, its growth potential, have been dollar cost averaging in all these last few months. But what's been really interesting to me is that when Palantir got back down to 10, which is a key psychological level, it is the par value of a SPAC. When it got down to that level, no one was talking about Palantir. I posted a trade that I took, which we're going to look at here in just a minute, on my Discord, on other Discords. I was speaking to myself. It's funny because that's how market psychology works. When everyone thinks that this company is the best growth company, it has the best story, the best product, that is reflected in the price. And that's oftentimes the high. But when no one's talking about it, when everyone's written it off, when no one thinks it's a good buy anymore, that tends to be the bottom. That is market psychology. And once you realize that fact, you can separate yourself from the herd that gets roped into these big parabolic moves and cuts their capital by tremendous margins. No, patience and separating yourself from the herd is the way to go. Now, you can't necessarily do that with news. You have to implement some kind of technical analysis. And I'm going to show you why and how I got in when I did. But first, let's talk about this recent news that's come out that could be the reason that Palantir is ripping. So, the first thing I noticed on Friday was this article here. Stephen Elliott appointed head of AI solutions at Google Public Sector. A little bit mundane, Google AI public sector. But here's the key point in this article. According to his LinkedIn profile, Elliott will collaborate with public sector customers in his new role to deliver cloud and artificial intelligence technologies with a particular focus on leveraging Palantir Foundry platform. That's interesting. Google is partnering with Palantir, and this is just flying under the radar. Well, not exactly. Go to the Palantir Daily, which I assume is a Palantir based news source. They noted this development, and they even went to the Google Cloud Platform portal and they found where, yes, Palantir Foundry is being offered to customers. They're selling Palantir to their clients along with their cloud services. So, this is big news. This is very big news to have a partnership like this. And if you use your imagination a little bit, it could mean something else regarding Palantir stock and Google. Now, the trade could be now if you believe in it, but the best trade, as I said, was when no one was looking at it. And that was on March the 15th. And I posted on TradingView, I posted on my Discords because I want to make a point, not to inflate my ego, but just to validate the methods of technical analysis, how this is how you have to use this technique to get into things before anyone else is looking at it. Because if you're in when the news is out, it's too late. And so from that point on March the 15th, which was a down day in the market, Palantir is up almost 35%. And so what you had to do was you had to be watching the price action of Palantir down on the lower time frames on the Ukraine invasion. When Russia invaded Ukraine on February the 24th, there was a huge spike down in everything. And a lot of things and a lot of stocks price smacked back up as well. Well, that created a level at 1040 on Palantir, which is real close to that 10 level. With some patience, I waited until the price of Palantir came back to that level and did a little volatility spike here in the morning of March the 15th. That was an entry. The initial trade was to take it from that entry point up to the top of this consolidation. And I have long term calls. We're talking January 2024 that I'm holding to play the big move up. And so after that point, when no one was looking at it, when I was talking to myself, that was a great opportunity for an entry on Palantir. Probably the best all year, probably the best since the IPO, the listing rather. And again, I say this not to just inflate my ego. I want to validate the methodology of removing yourself from the news cycle because after the news comes out, there's rarely very much money to be made. Now, my imagination could see, especially at these prices on Palantir, a buyout by Google. Now that'd be just be my rumor I'm floating. I don't think that's actually going to happen with any kind of certainty, but it seems to be very attractive. Either way, it's interesting these developments coming out in tandem with this recent rally. Now, I'll tell you what's going to happen with some confidence is if Palantir does start going up into the high teens, breach 20 and onward, then the news is going to come out and say, hey, look, it's because they partnered with Google. But I'm telling you about this now when it is slightly rising off the lows, but that's not even when the best opportunity was. The best opportunity came from a technical standpoint. You were watching this for a particular instance of price spiking, people thinking it was going to the downside only to have it snap back up, and then setting up an entry with fixed risk and fixed reward to get you into the trade. That's the way to capitalize on opportunity, not waiting for everyone to start blabbing about it again, which they will because there's no better advertisement than a rising price. But you don't want to get in when everyone else is. You want to get in before them. The only way you're going to do that is to take a little bit of initiative to watch for price action setups. So I hope this helps everybody, not only to validate that you need to be looking for opportunity when no one else is, but also to make you informed before it becomes common knowledge why Palantir may be going up. So, hope this is useful. Trade wisely. We'll see you guys in the next video.